Welcome back to Green Iron TV, folks, as we continue to work on our 1967 M725 Ambulance. We have gotten to the point now where we have all the decals and markings on the vehicle, and we're getting one step closer to being finished up with this project. So stay tuned and join along as we get this vehicle all marked out in its proper original military style markings. So remember, like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate all of it. Thanks. All right, folks, we're going to get started on putting the decal set on the M725 Ambulance. This is a kit that I received in the mail from Delta Team Decals. Really nice looking set. I've used them on a bunch of my other vehicles. So I'll put their link in the description below so that you guys can find them and get decal kits. I know they do decal kits and paint mask sets. So I did go with a decal kit. That is what was originally on this vehicle. It's what was originally on the vehicles starting in about 1964 on up for several years until the Army went to the camouflage in the mid-70s. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to get this all laid out, and we'll show you where to go and how to put it on. So it's got a real nice set. It's got your hood numbers, rear numbers, your medical cadillas, ambulance markings, tire pressures, fuel cautions, medical services, bumper unit numbers. So we got everything all lined up here. So we're going to get started with a few things, and we'll get them laid out and show you where to put them on the truck. Okay, so we're going to get started with the hood number because that's the most iconic thing for a military vehicle. Now the way these get laid out is in the middle of available space, but because of the hood light on the 725 and the 715 style vehicles, it's in the center of where that available space is on that side. So we've gone and measured that. That's 30 inches. So right in the middle would be 15 inches. So we know we need to come from this back edge 15 inches, and we'll put a little piece of tape to make a mark. So if we come from this back edge 15 inches, we know that's where the middle will be. Now here's a real easy trick for these decal sets to figure out if you want to find the exact middle into this. So you can kind of hold it up to the light and see through it. And if you put just a little crease in it there, now you know exactly where that middle is. So we're going to line that up with there. Now on this particular style of truck, you're going to line the bottom edge of the numbers with the bottom edge of this crease right here. So there's a lot of different methods to putting decals on. Some people prefer to do what's known as the wet method, in which you're going to apply a wetting agent to the hood, and then you're going to apply the decal over it and then squeegee it out. I prefer to do the dry method, especially with small letters and numbers, because with the wet method you don't get good adhesion until it dries out, and so when you're peeling the top coat off, it can make it difficult. So I prefer to do the dry method. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to get this peeled and we're going to get it lined up and smoothed down. So I'm going to start by peeling the backing paper off to reveal the decal with the transfer. And we're going to get that edge lined up. Now we have the edge nice and lined up. And here's the simplest, easy way. We're just going to work our way right up the decal, smoothing it as we go. You're going to rub that decal really good. And rub each letter really solid. And when you think you got everything down nice and good, now we're going to peel the transfer layer up. And you're going to start, you're going to come at a 45-degree angle, and gently pull back across the decal, leaving the decal and taking the transfer piece off. And just like that. So, and just like that. First set's on. We're ready to move on. Do the next step. Alright. Alright, and while we're here working on the front, we might as well put the front tire pressure on. So the front, it's marked front tire pressure, which is the TP25, and that's going to go in the center of the wheel arch. So we're not going to measure it out. We're going to eyeball it because that's what we do. So we'll peel that top layer off. Kind of easy, looking straight down, getting the center of the axle, and then positioning it straight in the middle of the, and rub it in. Same thing, peel it back, nice and gentle. And there's your tire pressure marking. Next, we're going to apply the passenger side bridge weight. This goes on the passenger door in the forward front quarter. So we're going to peel that. And we're going to line that up down a couple inches. Make sure it's nice and straight. And rub it in. So next, working our way down the side of the vehicle here, we're going to put the medical cadeas on, and we're going to keep it in line with the strip rail. So we'll take some tape, we're going to extend out, and then we're going to place this halfway between the edge there and halfway between the cross. So we'll measure that out and we'll end up placing that in there. So we're going to start off with a piece of tape to make a continuous line. We're going to step back, make sure that looks straight. Yep, that looks like that's a good place. So now we're going to measure the distance. And we got 35 inches. So we know we're going 17 and a half. And so now we know we're going to be putting that right there. So we're going to line up our mark. Now, one tip for using on these bigger decals is that you can use a little smoothing paddle to help smooth it as you go. If you don't have one of these around, use an old credit card, just something that's got a nice, firm, smooth edge. And you can just kind of rub that across as you slowly bring the decal down. All right. And that's how you line that up. Now for the medical services, I've already gone ahead and found the middle. And so we know we're going to line that up. And we're going to put that about 2 inches below and in line. Maybe if I can get my fingers to work. There we go. So if you lightly just stick, and you can see the dark spot there and the dark spot there, that gives you the ability to just kind of step back, make sure that looks straight and looks like that's in the right position. And then from the middle, you can work your way to the outside. And as we continue to work our way down the side, one of the last on this side is going to be the rear TP45. So we'll get that applied. Now one of the nice things here is we know that this seam is dead center of the wheel well. So that'll help make the alignment. And then we're going to, in the available space, we're going to basically split the difference and be in the middle. Rub that in. And boom. Okay, continuing to work our way around, we're going to put the U.S. Army markings and registration number at the top here above the doors. So we'll start with the one. And we're going to be about an inch above the drip rail. And then the same thing with the registration number. that looks pretty good. We'll smooth that on. And then the final two for the rear are going to be the rear bumperette numbers, which are going to be the unit numbers. And so this is 30th Field Artillery, 2nd Battalion, Headquarters Battalion. And of course, then for this side, the vehicle number. And so we've numbered this one as Ambulance 51. And now we're going to continue on around. We're getting there. Now working our way down this side of the vehicle. We know from the previous, we're going to come up 15 inches. So we'll take a little piece of tape so that we can make a mark. We're going to come up 15 inches. Make a little tape mark. We'll find the center. And peel and get ready to apply. Same thing as the other side. We're going to line up along that bottom edge. And smooth our way up to peel and remove. And we're going to line up this front TP and apply that. Now, keep moving down the side of the vehicle. Okay, just like the last side, we're going to extend out with a piece of tape. Make sure that looks level. Measure and mark it. Yep, 35. 17.5. So we'll position that. And work our way down. All right. We'll fold this to find our midpoint. Come down about 2 inches. Check that we're level. And smooth it down. Okay, we're going to pan down a little because one thing this side has that the other side doesn't have is our fuel fill. And so we have the fuel caution to add to it. And we're going to line up here with the edge. Rub it in. And one last one on this side. We're going to have our tire pressure 45 for the rear. Same thing as the other side, we're going to use this seam to line it up. and smooth it down. And that's going to take care of this side of the vehicle. Okay, next we're going to work on the front unit bumper markings. And so we have, once again, the 30th Field Artillery, 2nd Battalion, Headquarters Battalion. This is the unit that my uncle served with. So one of the things we're going to notice right now is that the length with the HHB is too long to fit in the space here with the bumper knockouts for the toe shackles. So what we'll do, take the scissors, we're going to separate them. And then we'll have 30th on one side, HHB on the other side. Real simple. Now, one of the other things we're going to kind of do is your bumper bolts. Is we're going to kind of try and position it a little bit where those bumper bolts are not affecting very many. Now we're going to kind of smooth back in around the bumper bolt. So now this touches the bumper bolt. We're going to stretch the vinyl a little bit and really tuck it in. Okay. We do one little spot there. All right. So that's going to line that side up. Now we're going to put the HHB on this side of the shackle. Smooth that down. And last, our Ambulance 51. So we're going to kind of look where that bolt is and kind of make sure that we're in a spot where to go around it easier. And of course, when you're doing bumper markings and so forth, so this vehicle is going to be marked as an ambulance. And so the last numbers is always what's known as the vehicle's order of march, or what vehicle it is in the motor pool. So this one I've chosen as 51. Why? Because if you're a fan of the old 70s TV show Emergency, you'll get the 51. So Squad 51 will have Ambulance 51. So we'll get that marking applied. work around that bolt, smoothing it out. Alright, and then when we peel the top coat off, that will give us a chance to work that into that a little deeper, giving it a little bit better fit and definition. So the vinyl is fairly flexible and will allow you to compound curves like this, let you stretch it a little bit. So, but unlike vehicle wrap, this type of material, this is a outdoor graphic vinyl. Once it's stretched, it's stretched. So you want to make sure you're lined up good, and you're going to do that as the final piece. So there we are, Ambulance 51. Okay, folks, and one of the last and hardest to do, just because it's in an oddball position, is going to be the ambulance marking that goes centered in the windshield. So it's easy to figure out where the center of the windshield is because you have an even amount of rivets and spot welds that go across. So it's an even amount, so we know that right in the middle between those two is our center. So we've folded that to find our center line again. And we're going to crawl up here and put this on. Now the careful thing with these is you got to be careful because the hoods are fairly soft. And so you don't want to put your weight out in the middle of the hood because you'll end up caving it in, which is why on almost every single one of these you have a crease in the middle of the hood, where some young GI has been out in the middle of the hood at some point. Okay, so we know that's our center point, and we're going to be aligned. And we're going to get that, and we're going to check that real quick. See how that looks. If it looks straight, we're going to call it good. I'd say we're pretty good. All right, now we're going to do our crosses. And for position, I am going to cheat just a little bit because I can just see a bit of a faint outline where the originals were. All right, we'll move the ladder around, do the one on the other side. same thing, we're going to cheat just a touch because we could just make out where the old ones were. And while we're up here, we're going to peel the masking tape off the spotlight that we didn't do earlier, just because we knew we were going to have to crawl up here at some point to do this. So why take a chance crawling across the hood if we didn't have to. So there we go. That's the full marking kit from Delta Team Decals.com. So we got a couple other specialty decals that I've had and acquired over the years to put in a couple different spots on the vehicle. So we're going to do those next, and then we'll be completely marked. Okay, folks, here we have the 3 specialty decals that you have to source out from some different places around the world. So this is the decal for the air cleaner mushroom cap. So a warning decal for that. This is the standard good driver decal. This is the 60s version, which would be correct for this vehicle. And then this is the Kaiser Jeep warranty decal. So these two I picked up from Midwest Military. This one came from Frontline Military Surplus. This is the only place that I've ever been able to find that sticker is from Frontline Military Vehicles. So a couple little specialty decals. We'll get those installed and be finished up. All right, so we're going to apply this one to the bottom cornered edge. Of the mushroom cap. So there's that one all applied. We'll move on to the last 2. Okay, folks, and the last 2 get applied to the dashboard. We're going to do the warranty decal, goes just to the left of the steering wheel. And then the good driver. Now the good driver has been seen in all kinds of different places on the vehicles and stuff like that. It's usually on the dashboard or on the driver's door somewhere. This vehicle, when I first got it, it had the remnants here on the dashboard. So that's where we're going to put this one back. And there you go. The last 2 markings. And now we have this vehicle fully marked. All right, folks. Thanks for watching along as we put all the decals and markings back on the 1967 M725 Ambulance. I know it was a longer video, but I wanted to make sure we showed you in full detail how to put the decals on and where they go and how to lay them out. So we appreciate you. staying on and watching for the whole thing. And remember, like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate all of that. So thanks. Stay tuned as we still have a few more little bits and pieces to add on to this ambulance as we work along and get it finished up. So thanks and have a good night.